So we've now showed you how to think about your body, and showed you how to think about your brain and thinking in silence, and showed you how to listen to your own voice. So now we're going to put it all together with this additional mantra that we call obey the law of opposites. And it's basically this. We want you, in your own personal style, to play to your strengths. And we want you to obey the law of opposites and do the opposite of what your strengths are, so that you are literally twice as interesting. You have the ability to hold us twice as long as you're grabbing and holding our attention, because you're not just playing to your strengths. And we came up with this idea based on my own limitations. I lectured at a law school, and one of our NITA colleagues was the professor. And at the end of my lecture, he said, "Hey, could I give you some feedback?" And I said, "Please. I need feedback as much as anyone." And he said, "Brian, I got to tell you, man, it's too much. You stood up at 8:30 in the morning in front of those law students, and you were only loud, fast, and animated for the whole hour-long lecture." And I thought, you know, he's right. I was in front of law students, and they're a pretty deadpan group, and I was pushing, and all I did was play to my strengths. I teach people how to project their voices. I am loud. I know that's what I do. But boy, a guy who's only loud really wears out his welcome. And I know I have a lot to say, so I'm often fast, trying to pack in a lot of information. And because I teach the art of gesturing, I know that I'm animated. And ever since he's saying that to me, it's too much. You're just playing to your strengths. You're just loud and fast and animated. The obey the law of opposites comes from my saying to myself in every lecture I make, "Brian, say something softer. They need relief from that guy who's so loud." And you know, think of the classic expression about that's too much of a good thing. It is good to be loud and project your voice. And then there is too much of a good thing. You can be loud the whole time. You're going to talk to the jury for an hour loudly. So I'm loud and I'm soft. I've got a lot to say, and I'm fast, and I know that if I don't discipline myself, I won't say the important things even slower. So I've got to be the opposite of the guy who's fast, has got to be slow. And I know I gesture a lot, because I'm teaching people the art of gesturing. So I periodically have to say, "Brian, stop. Stop gesturing so much." At least give them some relief and say, "Hey, look, I can gesture with one hand. I can gesture with the other hand, so it's 50% less. And don't worry, once in a while, folks, I'm not going to gesture at all. I'm going to be the animated guy who's still. Loud, soft, fast, slow, animated, still." That's where the law of opposites begins.